Good afternoon. Today we're going to take a look at the SXP Employee Portal, and we're going to look at it from a customer relationship management perspective. So first thing is this would be your logo, your colors, your graphics, your background. I'm going to log in as a sales rep here. So I put in my user ID and my password, and it takes me right into the SXP customer portal, SXP partner portal, employee portal. Here we go. And sorry, we just went through a name change on our portals. So I got to try to get them straight here. So in the employee portal, what I'm seeing is really dependent upon the role that I'm assigned to. Now, I'm logging into the portal as an administrator, so I can show you all of the functionality. But non-administrators, they don't have access to the role here. So for example, if I log in and I've assigned a role called my sales, then that's all I'm going to see. I will only see my sales orders, my recent orders. I'll see a geo map where my sales have gone. I'll see a sales funnel based on just my opportunities, nobody else's. And then the KPIs down here, these are just for me. Now, anything that I do over here from the menu is only going to include my data. So these sales reports, they'll only show my data, campaign responses from my customers, my customer orders, my customers, and so forth. So that's what that assigned role does. Now, if let's say I'm a GM, I'm a general manager of a region, and there are multiple reps that work for me, then I might be assigned a role of sales manager. Now, when I do that, now I can see there are other sales reps on my team that I work with or that work for me. So as the manager, I'm now able to see how my entire sales team is doing here. And obviously, you can see I'm doing the best, but, Yves isn't far behind me. So, but I'm also the manager, and that's why I can see what these other users are doing. This funnel is now combined. This geo map is combined. It contains everybody on my team, and same with these KPIs down below here. Now, if I am the VP of sales or the president of the company, and I log in as an executive, then I'm going to see a corporate view of my CRM data. I'm going to see, because I sell to Canada as well, I'll see a geo map that shows where my sales have been in BC. Unfortunately, I haven't hit some of the other regions of Canada. Again, a geo map for all of my sales in the US. Now it's including, all my reps, recent orders by, company-wide here, go all the way down to some trend analysis based on my regions, based on fiscal periods, combined funnel, combined pie charts, KPIs, gauges. This is all corporate-wide. And because I've logged in with the role of the VP of sales or the sales executive or the president. So I'm going to go back to being a sales manager here. We'll go ahead and go along those lines. And now let's take a look at the rest of the SXP Employee Portal. So starting off to the far right, this is where I can simply change my password. My manager, the administrator, and SAP controls everything else I have access to. But as a salesperson, I have complete control over what my password is. This gives me the ability to view deliveries. So one of the nice features of this portal is that not only can I view deliveries, and I might actually be taking this delivery with me out to my customer, where I might also need to get a signature. All right, so that's all completely doable here. So instead of going through these, let me take a different approach here. Let me go look at my customers, and let's take a look at more of a CRM perspective. Now, this was going to give me a view of some marketing content here or some internal HR data, and that message had expired. let's go in and let's bring up a customer and let's go into APS engineering. This is one of my customers here. And when I drill down into that customer, what kind of makes this employee portal unique in my view is that it's bringing over additional information from SAP Business One that if you were using a HubSpot or a Salesforce, it'd be much harder to get these details. So for example, I can see that I've got 45 open orders. I've got one unpaid invoice, 16 open quotes. I've got 2 deliveries that haven't been invoiced yet, and I haven't logged any popular items yet. But this is stuff that's coming right out of SAP Business One for this particular client. And you can, of course, this is tailorable. You can add to this if you need to. I see a map where the customer is located. And then again, from here, I can, view deliveries. I can edit my customer. I can create quotes. I can create orders. And that's what these things up here give me the ability to do. Create a quote, create an order, or, search for my customers. So in this case, if I want to create a quote, I can go ahead and do that. And in fact, before creating a quote, let's talk about opportunities here. Let me jump over to my opportunities. Oops, we got into our quote here. Let's go back to my opportunities. Let's first start by talking about opportunities, because these could even preface a quote. So I'm going to bring up a list of all my opportunities. These are the same opportunities that are in SAP Business One. And without having to drill down into each opportunity, I can really get a lot of detail from this list here. So for example, if I look at here, Ashley Farms Cattle Ranch, I'm in negotiations with them. I can see that I've got 3 attachments. I have 6 notes. I have 1 calendar appointment, 1 meeting. And over here, I don't have any tasks. So I can see a lot going on. If I want to look at those attachments, there they are. I can bring these up here if I need to. If I want to look at the notes, there they are. Qualification call, the marketing literature that was sent. Again, I can drill down and look at those details. And if an opportunity is moving forward, let's say that I'm going from a second meeting and they want a quote, all I got to do is drag and drop. And you'll see right up here, SAP Business One was successfully updated. That's how easy it is. We use this ourselves, and we found that if it's not easy for a sales rep to use, they won't end up using it. So it's very easy to manage opportunities and do all of those kinds of things, as well as creating new opportunities as well. So I can come over here. I've got 5 opportunities. And if I need to add another opportunity for my customer, I can, just like that. If I need to add a new lead, I can do that also. The plus button here gives me the ability to put in my new lead, their website, capture just the most important details, contacts, addresses, and just like that, we'll have a new lead inside of SAP Business One brought in through the employee portal. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. Let's go back to our customer. And in my customer, let's go ahead and let's create a quotation. Now, I've got several different ways that we can create a quote inside of the employee portal. One of those is I can hand enter it. I can start by keying in information. In this case here, they want a printer, but you'll notice that I don't have to know the actual item ID. I'm just keying in part of a description here. So we get the printer they want. We'll ship it from the main warehouse that's closest to my customer. This is also going out and giving me an available to promise. Now, based on my user security, I do have the ability to add a discount up to a certain point. I also have the ability to adjust the price within certain parameters. So just something to keep in mind there. You control what those limitations are. Now, with the printer, they also want some paper. So we're going to add in some paper here. But what I want to show you here is on my paper, this one has multiple units of measure. And so I can sell the paper at $6 for a pack. If I sell a carton, you see it goes up quite a bit to the carton price. So again, it does an available to promise. Now I'm going to go ahead and submit my quote. Yep, we'll refresh totals. Now you'll notice the submit quote button won't work until we, fill in any required fields that you deem required. Down on the bottom left, we see a status, and now we see the quote has gone into SAP. I can print my quote, I can edit my quote, look at my quote details, I can email my quote to my customer, all right from here. Now, what I want to do is let's go back to our customer. And I want to put in another quote, but I want to show you a different way of, actually, you know what? Let's go back. We just put in a quote. Let's put in an order this time. We'll go to create order. You'll see that the create order looks just like the create quote. Same look and feel, except this time it's a real order. Now, instead of putting in the line items like we did before, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here and I'm going to add multiple items. When I do that, that brings up a purchase history of everything this customer, of everything I've sold this customer in the past. So as I scroll through this list, if there's something new on here that the customer's purchased, it'll be on this list. And so in this case here, they need some of this eyeshadow, they need 2 coffee mugs, and they need some all-purpose gear glue. So we'll go ahead and go to the bottom and click finalize order. So in this case here, now it adds those 3 items into my sales order for me, gives me my available to promise, and we're off and running. If I want to add subtotals, if I need to add some text as well, like maybe this customer's warehouse is under construction, and so I might need to leave a note that all deliveries need to go around back if after 3 p.m. There we go. And so we can add some text as well. All right. So that's putting in a sales order. Let's go ahead. Let's submit our order. And the last thing to touch on really, let's go back to our home screen here, is the reporting. You've got several different types of reports available to your sales reps through the employee portal. The first one here is a grid report. So as an example, let's look at some reports here. And let's go to sales reports, see what we've got in here. And let's run inventory details with price. There we go. So this runs my inventory details with price. And this is great, but if you've got thousands of items, you're going to have, hundreds of pages. So a couple of quick ways to get to your data. One of those is you can start by keying in information into any one of these column headers. And this will go out and find anything with the word print in it. All right, office print, rainbow, laser series. So anything that's printer related can get narrowed down. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something different though. Let me remove that message. Here we go. Again, if you've got thousands of items, I also have the ability to group my reports. So I'm going to drag my item group. Now I've got all my items grouped, and you'll notice at the bottom, a lot less pages to deal with. So it's very easy if I'm looking for meat versus beverage, or if I'm looking for my honey or whatever it might be. So I've got all of that. I'm also looking at what's my retail price, distributor price, and any kind of product URL for an image or a data sheet or something that might add additional information. But this is a typical grid report. Then within here, I could further group it and add in a grouping by selling options. Now, when I open a group, I can see my sellable versus non-sellable products, because obviously we don't want to focus on non-sellable products. To remove these groups, I just simply drag them off that key panel up here and slide where I want that field. You also see these columns you can drag and drop and move them around. So those reports are extremely flexible. Your sales reps will love them because it lets them put the reports in whatever order they want. Now, I'm going to go back to grouping this by item. But what I want to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to save my group. And now I'm going to call this all items by inventory group. And I could decide if I want this available for other users or just keep it for myself. And there we go. And now I've got a new report here, all items by inventory group. I can go back to my view, the way I like it, all items, and then I can jump into all items by inventory group. And again, it'll, however I save this, if I save my view, next time I come in here, it'll be exactly the way I like it. So that's an example of a grid report. Now, there are other types of reports as well. And those are pivot tables. And let's take a look at one. Let's go into a project pivot table. And this is taking all the project details out of my SAP Business One system. And so it's got a starting point here. Here's a project called HBM. Let me go to the default view here. We'll take a look at that. So here's my default view. So what we're looking at here is I'm looking at my projects. I've got 3 projects right now. I'm looking at what my expense estimate is, my sales estimate, and then it's showing me my total AR, my total AP. So that's what I'm really seeing. Now, what I might want to do is I might want to kind of change things around a bit. Maybe I'm not so concerned about total AP. And so these are columns that, I could go ahead and I can, hide those columns, remove them like this. Let's keep total AR and sales estimate, and we'll get rid of our expense estimate. So now I'm seeing what we expected to capture from the project, what our total AR is, and again, I'd say we don't need AP, so let's hide that. There we go. So I'm getting the report the way I want it. Now, this is great, but I'd like to see this over a time phase. So I'm even going to get rid of my estimate here. I just want to focus on my AR for these projects. And now I want to see this over time. So I'm going to look up in the list of items that I haven't added into my report yet. And in here, let's grab a scheduled start year, and let's drop that over here. Now, I can filter this, and if I've got multiple years in my projects, this will give me the ability to select from those different years. But now I can see 2020, here's what my project is. Now I'm going to get rid of that, and let's try a different one. Let's bring in scheduled start month. We'll drop that here. And now I can see my projects were scheduled to start in September. I could put in a scheduled in month and so forth. And it's just a matter of dragging and dropping your fields to get the report the way you want it. And when you're done, you can save your view. So that's an example of a pivot table. You also have reports that are combinations. It is another pivot table. Reports that are a combination of grids and tables. And again, this is just a newly released employee portal, and I don't have an example of one of those to show you. But this is the SXP Employee Portal, and it's highly developed around customer relationship management to kind of refocus on where we were today, the ability to manage opportunities, add leads, customers, the ability to place quotes, orders, run reports, trip reports. That'll be the last thing we'll do here. I'm going to jump into my customers. And in this case here, I just left APS engineering. What we see on the right are things I still have to do for APS engineering, my customer. And then what we see on the bottom down here are things I've completed. So to complete today, I'm going to add a note. This type of note is going to be a sales related. This is going to be a call report. I went on site, and what I could do in here is put in my notes, blah, blah, blah. Happy customer. If I need to, you see spell checker, which I really love. If I need to choose a contact, I can. If I need to add pictures, maybe I did a survey, I took pictures, I can add all of those. And then I can go ahead and save my call report. And that'll show up down here. So very easy to record and take notes with your customers, edit your customers, add quotes, orders, opportunities, run reports, all without an SAP Business One license. All I need is a portal license, and I'm able to put the data in. Now I'm going to jump into the back office system here in SAP. And what I want to show you here is when you sign up for the SXP Employee Portal, you get this add-on. And this add-on gives you the ability to manage that employee portal directly from SAP Business One. So what I could do here is I can enable single sign-on, some report viewing options. Do I allow my users to edit the report views, set up for email? And then on a sales user, do we allow them to send emails? Let's see. This has to do when we're adding leads. Are we going to automatically generate the business partner number, or are we going to let the sales rep key that number in themselves? Do we want to enable signature capture on deliveries? And also, do we enable accepting cash payments? That means I could go out on site, drop off a case of beer at my customer, and have them pay me cash right there, all through the employee portal. Now I'm going to cancel out of here. There's some more setup for this as well. And this has to do with the rules for your sales reps. Do you allow your reps to add a custom address? Do you allow your reps to create orders, to create quotes, to edit orders, to edit quotes? Can your reps cancel orders? Can they cancel quotes? What level of discount can your reps provide? So I can give up to a 15% discount, and that's it. That's the top I could go. So again, you've got some really neat setups here that control the security for your sales reps within the SXP portal. Now, the SXP part, let me touch on that briefly. I've gone into another employee portal, and here I have some additional forms that have been built with the SaltBox experience platform. So as an example over here, and I'm just using these as examples. Over here, what I've got is I have a production scheduler. So I'm able to bring up a list of work orders. And if I have a production order I want to schedule, I can drag and drop and schedule that production order. If I'm doing cycle counting, let me find that here. Actually, let's do this one here. If I'm on the shop floor and I want to capture time and material, then I can do that too. And in here, I can start my operation just like that. And that started the time clock. So these are examples of forms that have nothing to do with CRM, but they're forms that I have employees that I don't want to buy Business One license for, but I want to capture their time on the shop floor. I want to be able to allow them to schedule production without having to log into SAP. And so that's where the SaltBox experience comes in. And this is where you've got to keep an open mind. You keep an open mind and think about what data entry screens would be ideal for my sales reps, so I don't have to have a Business One license for them. And that's where the SXP experience comes in, the ability to use SaltBox to create those data entry screens. And that's something we can do for you as part of our service, or with the appropriate training and SaltBox platform, you guys would be able to build your own data entry screens that you could add into the partner portal and the employee portal. All right. Thank you for watching.